Do you ever like find yourself in moments where you're like, how did I get here? Like, what choices in my life have led me to this moment? Hello and welcome. Today, I thought I would talk about my experiences modeling in India and Turkey. There's some funny stories and some not so funny stories, and I thought I would just share them because it was an interesting 4 months. In February, I left for Turkey and I stayed there for 2 months, and then I went to India for 2 months. It was an amazing experience. I'm so grateful for it. It was so cool. I learned so much. But there were also a lot of like difficult things. I'm gonna talk about those because, well, they're good stories. But like, please don't think I'm like trying to like whine or like be like, oh, this was so hard, because like I know a lot of it like probably wasn't even that hard, but for me it was like, oh, this is hard. This is all just for entertainment purposes. I got to Turkey. Literally, who in their right mind at 18 years old decides to go to Turkey as a female by themselves? Like, who does that? I do that. So yeah, I was very terrified because I had never left the country before, and I was just like, okay, bye mom, I'm gonna go to the Middle East now. See you later. Turkey was beautiful. Istanbul was like the most beautiful city. I loved it so much. I would so go back there. And so I was living in a model apartment with like 12 girls. So it was like 2 Russians, 2 Ukrainians, a Lithuanian, a Serbian, a Bosnian, a Hungarian, then just like me. My roommate was from Ukraine. She was like, one day she told me, they think you are strange, but that you are cute, but that you are a child. But then eventually they kind of warmed up to me. It was good. So it got cold, like it would snow there. Sometimes the hot water would go out. We would have to like shower in shower pots. So I'd get a boiling pot of water and I'd boil it, put it in the shower, and I would just kind of like do it the old fashioned way. But then one time I had to wash my hair, so I had to do the shower, and it was like 40 degrees and it was so cold that like, okay, I'm a wimp. Cold weather, cold water, I'm just a wimp, okay? Sorry. But it was so cold, I like couldn't breathe. I was like breathing super hard and I was dizzy, and it was just, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a wimp. India was a whole different ballgame. Like, I have never experienced a culture like India before. It's like its own, whole own place, whole own thing. A much bigger culture shock than Turkey was. I have a lot of interesting stories from India. First of all, the weather was probably one of the worst or most difficult parts, because I came from Istanbul where it was like 30 degrees, like straight to India, which was 110, 115 degrees. My body was in shock. And then when I got there, I had no AC. Like in our apartment, the AC was broken. So like you would just go outside and you'd be sweating. You come inside, you'd be sweating some more. Like I would go to bed and just sweat all night long. And the one thing that was good was taking cold showers, which in Istanbul, I hated it, but in India, I was like, oh, cold showers, heck yeah, let's do this. I tried to fix AC, but I failed miserably, but I tried, you know, I tried. Okay, so I got locked inside my bedroom. I lived like by myself for like a good 2 weeks. I had roommates, but they all like left. So I was by myself, and this apartment was super old, mind you, like so old. One day I was in my room trying to get out, and the doorknob just fell off. There was no lock to pick, like there was no way out. So I tried everything. I grabbed coat hangers and tried to break them, and I had no tools. I was in a bedroom, so there's nothing in there. I had no food, no water. It was so hot because there was no AC, so I was like claustrophobic. It was really bad. So there was like a window outside of this like laundry area, which was like pretty gross actually. It was disgusting. But I was like, you know what? Better that I gotta get out of here. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I need to get out. But I climbed out, and there's a ladder. I climbed on, and I fell off the ladder. I had bruises all up and down my legs for a couple days or a week or 2. I fell off the ladder. My legs were like bleeding and cut up. And then I got all dirty because it was like there's spider webs, and it was just mud and gross, and like I was just, what the heck, how do I get out of here? So I texted like my agent, and he was like, oh no, like don't break anything, be careful, don't break anything, and I'll come out and get you tomorrow. And I was like, hey, like please, I need food and water and to get out of this room. And eventually a couple hours later he was able to come, but I was like very afraid because it was like 4 or 5 hours I was just trapped, and I was like so scared, like what the heck, I need to get out, I need to get out, I need to get out, I'm stuck, I'm gonna die in here. Yeah, but I didn't die, it's okay, I lived. Another fun little story, I had a job where I had to wake up at 3 in the morning, and then I had no idea what was happening. I was going to a normal job, but I get there and we had to drive a couple hours away to some like village. We were in the middle of this remote village, and there was like children like running all over the place, and there was like this body of water. But then I think their logic was like, oh, we'll go early and then it won't get hot. but we went early and it got hot. So by like 10 a.m. it was already like 95, 100 degrees. We ended up being there for like 15 hours. It was, oh my gosh, I cried many times that day because it was just, we had to change into like so many, like change into all these big, heavy, fancy dresses and like, oh, this is funny. Or not in the moment, but if you don't know me, I have the bladder of a squirrel. I pee about every 3 minutes. Obviously, we're in the middle of this village. There's no like bathroom and there's like people all over the place. So I had to pee so bad. I literally ran behind some rocks and I just squatted and peed. And do you ever like find yourself in moments where you're like, how did I get here? Like, what choices in my life have led me to this moment? Literally, I was sitting there peeing on some rocks and then peeing on my foot. I literally peed on my foot. That will change you. Peeing on your foot will change you. I did that. It's okay though, you know? Character building. Character building. Anyway, but I survived. The pictures were kind of cool. And the village kids would like talk to us. I made friends with some like the children who were running around. And then at the end, it was nice because I got to go in the water because like everyone had finished shooting, but they wanted me to like to go into the water to do some pictures. And I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. And it was cool because it felt really good because it was so hot. But I found out after that, it's called Death Valley because there apparently is dead bodies in that lake. Dead bodies in the lake. So I apparently swam in a lake with dead bodies. Okay, and then another interesting story. I had to travel to the middle of the desert for like 4 or 5 days. Like the middle of the actual desert. Every morning we'd wake up at like 4 and had to do like hair and makeup and we'd shoot all day long and then go to bed late and then do the same thing over and over. And it was so hot as well. So like, you know, the heat just drains you. We were outside all day long, like shooting and working and walking all over the place.
Right now.
We are shooting saris in a dried up lake.
The water's so cold.
Oh, I'm so refreshing.
Oh my god, yes.
Loving this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I love saris, and I'm not sorry about it.
I have never been more tired and exhausted in my life. Like I couldn't, at the end of each day, I could not even move. There was monkeys in our hotel room. Literally, there were monkeys. And the monkeys in India, they are so aggressive. When you see a monkey, you run. And these monkeys were in the trees and they like jumped down and they like all of a sudden, there was some food on the counter and they started like running towards the food. The guards had like sticks and were trying to like, just running around with like sticks like, get away monkeys, but they weren't doing that. But they were doing better than I'm doing it. But yeah, it was kind of scary, but it was kind of fun because monkeys are cute. But don't touch them because they will claw your face off. Oh, and then I got so many mosquito bites. At one time, my like legs, I counted like there were over 45 mosquito bites at one time, and I was very itchy.
I have mosquito bites on my butt.
Oh, one time I had to chase wild goats. My mom said, "What'd you do today?" And I said, "I chased wild goats." One time, I had to change my earrings like 65 times in a single day, but they got like super infected and started bleeding, and I had worked like the next couple of days. So they just got even more like bloody and infected. I had to take the train in India by myself, which means I took several planes like by myself. Like I traveled to different parts of India and like, that was fine. But then the train, I was very afraid of that. It was kind of scary. Like I had to go to the train station. Like it was all like in Hindi. There was not much English. Like it was just kind of scary. Like the trains were like not like trains I was used to, and it was very crowded and like running and like it was kind of scary. Let me just say, it taught me a lot. Like my experiences taught me so much. I don't regret like going or doing that. I mean, if I had known what I was gonna like go through and like do before I came, I don't know how excited I would have been to go, but I would not go back and not do it. I don't regret it at all because like it made me so strong. It taught me so many lessons about like life and people and like myself and like God and goodness. And that is all for now.